State Representative Sylleste Davis has been re-elected to serve the constituents of South Carolina House District 100. In this edition of Quintin's Close-Ups, I speak exclusively with her one-on-one. And be sure to download the free Quintin's Close-Ups app in your Apple or Google Play stores. Representative Sylleste Davis, it is so good to see you.
It's good to see you.
Oh, I appreciate it.
I'm glad to be here.
Oh, yes, ma'am.
Thank you for inviting me.
Oh, anytime. You talk about being here and being excited to be here. I got to talk to you about some good news. You said this on November 7th on Twitter. You said this quote, "Thank you, hashtag SC District 100. I'm honored to serve you for another 2 years. I look forward to working with you to keep hashtag South Carolina winning."
Yeah.
Where is your state of mind right now?
I'm excited. I'm happy that we're beyond the election and that we can now move forward and get back to the business of taking care of the needs and the desires of the people of South Carolina. And I'm humbled, always humbled, that the voters put their confidence in me. I feel blessed to be able to do what I do and to be able to help. So, I mean, you know, I feel good. I feel good.
And I want to get back to that about your future in just a second, but let me take you to the Post and Courier. This is the headline written by reporter Brenda Rich. Berkeley voters shoot down government change. Rivers, Crosby lose House seats. Rainwater wins hand-in-hand mayor. When you look at that headline, where does your mind go to?
Well, I'm obviously upset that Crosby and Representative Samuel Rivers lost their elections. Samuel was my seatmate on the House floor for 2 years. And so when you work side by side, literally side by side with someone like that for hours on end until the wee hours of the morning, you know, you get to know them very well and you develop a rapport with them. And Samuel is just a really, really great guy. He was a mentor to me. I came in new, so he was a mentor to me, and he's become a friend, a very good friend of mine. He's just a really solid person who cares deeply for the people in South Carolina. And I don't think that this is the last you'll see of Samuel. I don't know that. I don't have any inside information or anything like that. But I just think that there's more to his story in terms of service to the people of South Carolina. So I'm hoping for good things.
Obviously, Samuel Rivers was beat out by a newcomer, J.A. Moore.
Yes.
As we sit here right now, how would you work with J.A. Moore and the South Carolina State House of Representatives?
Well, I mean, the first thing I want to do is meet him. I haven't met him yet, and I really don't know that much about him. So I want to meet him and get to know him. I think that, you know, other Democrats would say that I reach across the aisle. I try to work with people because I realize that we have to work together to get things done. And so, you know, I look forward to getting to know the new members, and I look forward to getting back and trying to do the business of the people of South Carolina.
What is the business right now?
Ooh, I think the business is to continue to attract new jobs, high quality, high paying jobs to South Carolina, particularly Berkeley County. You know, I'm going to look out for the people of Berkeley County as best I can. So I think it's attracting jobs. I think it's ensuring that our students in high school, in K through 12, are job ready. I think it's that involves expanding apprenticeship programs, looking at certification programs, looking at tech schools, that kind of thing. So that's where you marry, if you will, the jobs and the education piece of it. I think the business of South Carolina is to ensure that the taxpayer dollar is spent efficiently and spent wisely. So I think there you look at the function of government and how well government is functioning, and you look at the cost of doing government, and you make determinations about whether we need to find some efficiencies in government, reduce the size of government, and the accountability piece of that is huge. So That along with the infrastructure issue is what I think are the most important issues. And then that's the business of taking care of and basically giving the people of South Carolina what they deserve with their tax dollars.
You talk about tax dollars. How will the money coming from the gas tax be spent wisely in Berkeley County?
That money is being spent right now on a project, Highway 402,
Okay.
which is a project that is a long time coming. We always call it the back way,
Okay.
the back way from Monk's Corner to Mount Pleasant. And so that project's in progress, and gas tax dollars are being spent on that project.
Okay.
There's another $10 million, I believe it is, that's set aside or determined to be used for Berkeley County roads. And so I think, my job as a legislator is to look at those dollars and how they're being spent and ensure that Berkeley County is getting its fair share of those gas tax dollars.
And you talk about infrastructure. I mean, how many potholes are right now in Berkeley County that you all need to take care of?
Many, more than can be counted.
Okay.
I was on the phone with DOT actually just this morning,
Okay.
talking about one road in Berkeley County. It's called Witherby Road. It's several miles long.
Okay.
It's cut through the middle of the National Forest.
Okay.
It has patches on top of patches on top of patches. And so that project is in the works.
Okay.
It will be a while before it's done, and by a while I say maybe a year before anything's really started on that road, maybe a little longer. So in the meantime, I've asked if DOT would just go back out and reevaluate that road and see if there are sections of that road where there have been so many potholes that a section of the road was actually cut out and repaved. And I think he was calling that a deep patch or something like that. I can't remember what the term was that he used. Basically, sections of the road that have been repaved. And so they're going to go and look at that. But yeah, there are a lot of potholes. But recently I Googled potholes.
Okay.
Just to see what would come up, right? And it's a nationwide problem. There are problems, there are pothole problems all over the state of South Carolina and all over the United States. Some states have done a better job of their roads than others.
Okay.
So in South Carolina, we're behind the 8 ball, and we're going to have to be catching up for years now.
And let me get back to the Post and Courier headline. Berkeley voters shoot down government change.
Yeah.
You know that was a hot topic on the ballot. How would you want to change Berkeley County government now?
Well, I think we've got change coming. I have a lot of respect and a lot of confidence in our new supervisor, Johnny Cribb. He is the type that will work with others to get the job done. He cares deeply about the people of Berkeley County. I think we're going to see major change. Just by that alone, I think we're going to see change. So I'm excited about that, very excited.
And of course, I know you're very excited about Christy Rainwater becoming the Hanahan mayor.
Yes, I am.
And I know she wants to bring a lot of people to the table. If she were to bring you to the table, what would you tell her about the future of city of Hanahan and how you will help them from the South Carolina's perspective?
Well, I would sit down and I want to talk. I would love to have a sit-down conversation with her and anyone else she wants to bring into the conversation, and talk about roads and infrastructure and education. I'm willing to sit down and listen and hear what her concerns are and hear what her goals are and what she feels like the people that she represents, the city of Hanahan, find out what it is that they want. And what do they feel like they need, and what do they feel like government needs to do that we're not doing now?
What are you not doing now in Berkeley County, particularly in House District 100?
Well, I think that one of the things that I think I need to do a better job of is just communication.
Okay.
Frankly, I didn't realize so many people were so interested in sort of what I would call the details of government.
Okay.
I'm glad they're interested. I'm very glad they're interested. So I see that as one way that I can improve and be a better legislator, is to communicate more. And so in that light, I plan to do a lot more Facebook posting, emailing. I plan to have town hall type meetings where I bring together groups of people where we just sort of have a question and answer kind of session. I plan to do some focus group meetings where I get people together that are interested in a topic or legislation that might be on the table and get their feedback. And I'm hoping that will improve communication and help the voters feel like they have a good voice in me.
I gotta go back to the potholes.
Yep.
How many roads in House District 100 that needs to be repaired or looked at right now in your mind?
Well, I mean, I would say, gosh, as far as numbers of roads, they're probably 20 or more.
Okay.
A lot of these roads are in the rural areas.
Okay.
And those rural roads have needed repair.
Okay.
This is not a problem that's just cropped up. I mean, it's been a problem that's been long coming.
Okay.
What made the problem worse is back in January of 2018 when we had the snow and the ice and the cold weather for several days. In those rural areas, the roads are shaded, so they weren't even getting sunlight. So in those cases, those roads were subjected to very cold temperatures and ice and snow for several days. And so you took bad roads and they frankly just about deteriorated because of that extreme weather. So there are a number of roads that need work, and I'm committed to working with DOT. DOT is committed to working with the county to do what we can to try to make sure that those roads are that we're making plans to fix those roads.
And where are we with the discussion about Viva and their recycling issue?
Oh, interesting. Okay, well, in fact, I just talked with DHEC this morning. I talked with them about that issue. Now, I didn't, from what I understand, the removal of the tires is ongoing. I don't know if they've completed that or not.
Okay.
That was being, the county was taking care of that. But what I did talk to DHEC about this morning was making sure that situation did not happen again. Particularly the issue that DHEC had identified a problem, and it took so long between identifying the problem to actually get to the point where we could start removing tires and keep the Viva recycling company from adding more tires.
Okay.
That by there's that time frame in there where we've identified a problem and then we're removing the tires. Well, during that time frame, they're still adding tires, which means it cost the state of South Carolina more to clean it up, because that's what ended up happening. The owner walked away, and the state of South Carolina had to come in and pay the cost of removing those tires. And so I'm interested in what, from a policy standpoint or from a standpoint of the law, why that happened. Why did it take so long? And what do we need to do? What do we need to do to make sure we do not have a situation like that again? So I'm working with DHEC. DHEC knows that I'm interested in that particular issue. And in fact, they were going to get an update from me on, there's a committee that's been put together that's looking at, across the state, looking at the issue of what to do with tires that need to be recycled.
And how much is this going to cost the taxpayers of Berkeley County, particularly your District 100?
Well, I mean, it's the money that's going to be used to take care of the recycling, which, by the way, I don't know exactly what the number is. But that money that comes from the state is money that was set aside by, it comes from consumers, the people that buy tires. Every time you buy a tire, there's money set aside to deal with the recycling of the tire. So that's how that money's accumulated, and that's how, when you have a situation where you've got tires, old tires that have been dumped, or in our case, tires that were just left at a location, and the company that was supposed to deal with the tires just walked away, that money that's accumulated is used for those purposes.
And if I were to talk to you for Quintin School Subs a year from now, what would you tell me about the accomplishments that you hope to make in Columbia?
Well, I hope to be able to bring some additional accountability to government. I hope to be able to put into place a mechanism for annual evaluation of government agencies, such that we can identify on an ongoing basis government efficiencies and cost savings.
Okay.
I hope to bring light to that, and I would actually also hope to put together a task force that looks at government efficiencies and then follows up to make sure those efficiencies are implemented. I would hope to have a plan in place and a definitive schedule for widening 176,
Okay.
which is the main highway there, main road in front of the Cane Bay subdivision right now. So I would love to have that. I would love to have, in the manner that we can, I would love for the state to have helped fire districts in some of these new developments that are struggling to build a fire station, as in Cane Bay. I would hope that the state has provided some financial assistance with that. So those are a few things.
Representative Sylleste Davis, thank you so much for your time. I really appreciate this.
Thank you, Quintin. You always ask great questions. I'm never fully prepared to.
I'm here to help the public.
Yeah, you do a great job.
Thank you. Thank you.